Have this report from Peter Sharp.
The thin red line stretched almost a mile through the streets of Rangoon. From Burma's holiest shrine, the monks marched toward the center of the capital, hailed as heroes by the watching crowd. Many joined the protest as numbers swelled to around 100,000 people. But after a month of growing support for the daily demonstrations, there are ominous signs that the military government may soon take action. Last night it broadcast a message denouncing the march and warning the protesters to stop. There are unconfirmed reports that hospitals are now being emptied of non-critical patients in preparation for possible bloodshed. Pro-democracy supporters claim this is a turning point in a long campaign for freedom. And Desmond Tutu says it's time the world took notice.
When we've had, 100,000 people came out yesterday, that is amazing. I mean, and the world has got to salute them, and then the world must not let them stand alone.
Burma has been under military rule since 1962. It has a population of 50 million people. In 1990, opposition leader Aung San Suu Kyi won a landslide election but was never allowed to take office. The latest protest began last month when the military doubled fuel prices.
What we are anticipating is that in the next few days, possibly very soon, they will start infiltrating the demonstrations with soldiers dressed as monks. They will start provoking violence, and then the regime will use that as an excuse to go in with a quite brutal crackdown.
The daily scenes of unrest are being viewed with growing concern in China. Pro-democracy demonstrations and the risk of a bloody confrontation in the politically sensitive run-up to next year's Olympics would be unacceptable to China. Peter Sharp, Sky News in Beijing.
Now, we've just had these pictures in. These come from the local state-run television service of some monks meeting. We believe this video is from today, though, to be honest, we haven't got a dateline on it. And it shows perhaps the build-up or their usual acts of worship, their usual gathering, what they would normally do. It would seem to be party elders, I would have thought, senior members of society gathering in this particular community. But difficult, as Peter was saying in his report, to know how this word is spreading, in a sense, because the kind of organisation that we in the West might think might be needed to organise something like this with all the apparatus available to us in modern Western society wouldn't appear to be there. Internet use, for instance, is pretty thin on the ground. There are a few internet cafes. There are only 2 internet service providers throughout the whole country. And, of course, the government, we know, is opposed to what these people are doing.
Absolutely, and they've made it very clear that they oppose it. They've ordered the protesting monks and their followers off the streets, but they seem to have gained something of a momentum. The number of people on the streets yesterday has been estimated to have reached up to 100,000. They've become the biggest demonstration since that famous uprising about 19 years ago, which resulted in a huge number of people being killed. Around 3,000 were killed in those protests. And there are fears that the military regime will take action against the protesting monks and their followers, which could cause a huge amount of outrage. These monks here held in deep reverence in Burma. And to give you some sense of why that is, virtually every family that lives in Burma sends one of their sons to the monasteries. So there's a real sense of connection with these monks, and obviously incredibly peaceful people. They've made it clear they're carrying banners through the streets showing their peaceful intentions, but there have been warnings, and we are getting some ominous word from Burma. Rumours such that the prisons are being cleared to make room for potential arrested people. Also rumours that hospitals are preparing for patients. Further rumours that, as Martin was saying a short while ago, soldiers in Myanmar have shaved their heads in order to infiltrate the monks' protests march. Now, none of this can be substantiated as yet, but we are getting that on some of the news agency wires this morning.